Korrina is waiting for me. She and her fighting types are standing between me and my badge. But honestly, the bigger battle is if my baby will stay asleep long enough to even get there. But of course, being overconfident and a loot goblin, I wasted a bunch of time exploring Silage City and picking up items and TMs. And let's not forget the bike I may or may not ever use. And styling my character, who somehow ended up looking even more like a mom than before. I don't know if that was the goal, but here we are. Getting the HM for strength, I drafted my useless Charmander temporarily onto the team, all so that I could backtrack just to nickname my Tyrant. While training and fighting everyone like some cranky toddler, I have managed to catch a Halucha. On Route 10, I was struck by all the strange rock formations. Could this connect to Legends ZA in some way? If you're excited for Legends ZA, what feature do you hope makes a comeback? Anyways, Team Flare literally jumped out from behind a rock. The first battle went well. Titan set up stealth rocks, and the grunt roared in Naruto, who cleaned house. The second grunt gave me trouble, though. Titan got paralyzed, and I had to rely on Rocky Helmet chip damage. Thankfully, Mjolnir's aerial ace sealed the deal. Most of the other battles here were smooth, except for this one tourist, where I forgot Roost removes the flying type, so Talon took a super effective dig. And I so did not spend a few minutes googling what on earth had just happened. I swear. At this point, the baby started fussing, but after a few minutes, he actually fell asleep on his own. Crisis averted. And actual progress from the little guy. I reached Geosinge Town and picked up a few more items. Meanwhile, Team Flare loudly announced their evil plans to the entire town, yet only Callum and I noticed. Callum and I couldn't follow them, as it was a dead end, so instead I tried to move on, running into Korrina and her Lucario. She challenged me to a battle, but Talon made quick work of them. Route 11, on the other hand, had a few scares. A Sigilif nearly destroyed me with Psychic, but kept whirlwinding me out like an idiot instead of taking the kill. Tinkerbell and Mjolnir were finally able to take it down. I swear these NPCs are programmed to throw. So there were actually more close calls and even a couple wipes, both on Route 11 and in Reflection Cave, but I accidentally pushed a bad button and lost all that footage. After a quick pit stop in Shallower City to heal, I headed back into Reflection Cave to explore the areas I missed. But only 7 minutes in, the baby woke up absolutely hysterical. 2 wake-ups aren't bad, and technically I only had to get him once, and we aren't that far from the gym, so I thought we could easily make it, forgetting about the whole Tower of Mastery story arc. For some reason, Tierno gave me this stone, which turned into a random mini life lesson from the Mega Evolution Guru. Fun. Then came the rival battle with Callum for the right to Mega Evolve. Mjolnir beat Meowstic but took a surprising amount of damage. I switched to Poe on Callum's Absol, who was able to one-shot it with a Vital Throw. But when Quilladin came out, I realized Talon was still in the box. I had put him in there as he was already a little overleveled. I swapped back to Tinkerbell, who barely scratched it with Fairy Wind. I swapped back to Poe, which I could have avoided if I had just left him in the first place. Panic is never good. Poe got dangerously close to fainting. But, luckily for me, Callum used Bite instead of finishing me. I took him down with Slash, barely escaping disaster. This is why I don't Nuzlocke. Mom brain. Finally, it was gym time. I had forgotten I had to fight all of the trainers. Turns out all that training on Route 11 and Reflection Cave was a waste of time. And I definitely ended up overleveled. Mjolnir hit level 34, Tinkerbell level 33, and Talon level 35, while Korrina's ace is 32. Even a little overleveled, I still expected a tough fight. Instead, Korrina had no coverage moves, and couldn't touch Mjolnir. So, I set up 3 sword dances, and then aerial aced her entire team into the ground. And as if to celebrate, Talon evolved into Talonflame. Korrina told me I had to go back to the Tower of Mastery for the Mega Ring, so that's where I opted to end for the night. If you've ever tried gaming during nap time, let me know in the comments how it went. I don't want to feel too alone.